Hello, namaste. Welcome to your home practice with me, Allison Wesley. Please begin on your back and take a few moments to find your most comfortable position there. The knees may be bent, legs may be straight. Since you are at home, feel free to use a blanket, use a pillow. We'll be here for a few minutes. Allow your eyes to close. And take a few moments here just to settle in to your physical body. Feel what you feel. Start to notice how you're breathing, the rhythm of your breath, the movement of your breath. And little by little, you can begin to explore how the breath moves through your body, working with your full yogic breath, 3-part breath. So as you inhale, allowing the abdomen to rise, then the ribs, then the chest. And as you exhale, allowing the chest to soften, then the ribs, then the belly. So each inhale, you're breathing in from bottom to top. Each exhale, breathing out from top to bottom. And as this movement starts to feel more accessible to you, you can bring that movement to the side body. So as you inhale, feel that breath rising from bottom to top into the waist, up to the armpits. And as you exhale, soften from the top to the bottom, down the ribs, down to the waist. And breathing in all directions, you may explore breathing in to the back body. So as you inhale, breathing in from the lower back, rolling up the spine. Exhaling from the upper back down to the tail. And just play with what feels best to you, exploring that movement and that volume of the breathing. And then continue this pace, this rhythm, to your breath. If you haven't already, go ahead and bend the knees, bring the feet onto the floor, the arms can rest by your sides. And keeping the eyes closed, begin to find that movement now into the pelvis. So that as you inhale, the pelvis can tip down towards the feet, the lower back will arch a little bit off the floor. And as you exhale, do the opposite, low back pressing down, the pelvis, hip bones curling up towards the face. So the inhale, the hip points curl down to the feet. And the exhale, hip points curl up towards the face. Continue this with your breath. And give yourself one more complete round of these pelvic rocks, pelvic tilts. And begin to add on, working with moving bridge. So the next time you exhale, press the low back to the floor. The pelvis will now tilt, the hip bones curling towards the belly. Keeping that as you inhale, lift the hips, peel the spine off of the floor. And as you exhale, slowly roll back down one vertebra at a time. So each inhale, slowly peeling up, coming into a moving bridge. Each exhale, slowly curling back down. And feel free to add the arms if you'd like, so that as you inhale and lift the hips, you can reach the arms up to the ceiling and all the way up and overhead towards the floor behind you. As you exhale, you can release the arms all the way up and down by your sides. Taking 3 more rounds of this moving bridge, the inhaling to roll up, and your exhales to curl down. And then take your time as you are completing those 3 rounds. Once you've lowered back down onto the floor, give yourself a couple pelvic tilts, massaging the low back, massaging the sacrum. And see if, instead of just stopping those pelvic tilts, think about making each one a little bit smaller, a little bit less movement. So you're incrementally finding your way to a pretty neutral and centered position. Now once you arrive at center, please pick up your right leg. You can hug that knee in towards your chest and stretch your left leg out along the floor. You can visualize that right thigh as if it's completely relaxed, completely heavy, just softening in towards the chest. Taking a few ankle circles into the right foot. Changing directions when you're ready. And then preparing for a spinal twist. You can cross that foot so it just barely hugs the opposite knee. Stretch your right arm out to the side. And give yourself a deep in-breath there, reaching through the chest, reaching through that arm. And as you exhale with your left hand, press the thigh across the body, coming into your twist. 2 points equally reaching away from each other, that hip and the right shoulder anchoring down towards the floor. Take 2 more cycles of breath here, exploring now in this shape how the breath is moving through your body. Now another deep inhale here. From a strong belly, as you exhale, bring that knee back in through center, hug it in once more. And then slowly switch sides. Stretch out your right leg, draw your left thigh in. A couple breaths here, unwinding the left ankle joint. Making sure you circle in both directions. And then when you are ready, you can begin your spinal twist. That foot crossing over gently, left arm now reaching out. Inhale to find space, and as you exhale, slowly find your twist. Press that thigh across the body, reaching evenly through that left arm, left fingers. And depending how you're feeling today, you can make this a nice easy twist, easy breath, Or you can start to get the abdominals involved as you exhale, really hugging the belly down towards the spine. So you're wringing out all that tension in the spine. Taking another cycle of breath here. The next time you exhale, slowly bring that knee back in through center, hugging it in once more. And then with your next in-breath, stretch the legs out along the floor, stretch the arms all the way up and overhead. Keep the hands separated so you can stretch through the fingers and just find a nice long line from heels all the way up to the fingertips. You can take another deep inhale, reaching a little further. Draw the belly down towards the floor. And on your exhale, slowly release the arms, bend both knees, draw the knees into the chest, and rock a little side to side. When you feel ready, you can rock onto one side and eventually find your way up to hands and knees. Now, as you first find hands and knees, make sure your foundation is very stable. Fingers really wide spread, rooting down through the ground, through the earth. Find a place where your collarbones feel very broad. Now, as you inhale here, lift a little bit into the chest, and as you exhale, tuck your toes and rise up and back, coming into a downward facing dog. First downward dog, feel free to make it instinctual. Bend the knees, you can find some movement in the head and the hips. You might even pedal out the feet a little bit. And just make this one your own. Now, if you haven't already in down dog, go ahead and bend the knees a little deeper. Let the head just hang. You can soften the focal point in towards your feet or even towards your thighs. Shake out the head yes and no a little bit. And then preparing for a standing forward bend for Uttanasana, take a deep in-breath here, knees stay bent, and as you exhale, slowly walk the feet up to meet the hands. Keep the knees very bent for this first Uttanasana. And as you inhale, rise up to halfway, stretch the spine, stretch the rib cage forward. As you exhale, fold in, drape over the legs, coming into Uttanasana. Little bend to the knees, long spine. As you inhale, rise up to standing, sweep out and up with the arms. And as you exhale, bring the palms together, finding your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Go ahead and close the eyes here in your mountain pose, palms together. And take a few moments just to find a posture that feels tall, feels stable. And as you acknowledge where there is support in mountain pose, see if you can acknowledge where you can let go. So take the opportunity to soften the shoulders, soften the jaw. Preparing for our half sun salutations. Inhaling here in mountain pose. As you exhale, begin to open the eyes. Next, deep in-breath, sweep out and up with the arms. And as you exhale, extend forward, coming into Uttanasana. Let the head completely relax. And as you inhale, rise up to halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold in Uttanasana. Long spine, inhale, rise up to standing, sweep out and up with the arms. And exhale, palms together, Tadasana. Once more like this, inhaling to sweep wide and up with the arms. And as you exhale, a little bend to the knees, take it forward for Uttanasana. Inhaling to rise up halfway. Exhaling to fold in. Inhale, rise all the way back up to standing, sweep out and up. And as you exhale, bring the palms together, Tadasana. We'll start to add on, inhaling to reach out and up, lift the chest. As you exhale, take it forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up to halfway. This time as you exhale, step your right foot back, coming into a high lunge. Now give yourself 2 full breaths here in your lunge, making sure that front knee right on top of the ankle. Nice open collarbones, open chest. And then preparing for your downward facing dog, inhale here, find a little lift in the hips. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the floor, step that front foot back, coming into your downward facing dog. Now as you breathe here, root down underneath each finger. The next time you inhale, slowly shift forward, coming into a plank pose. Strong belly, lift the chest off of the upper arms. Take another full inhale here in plank. And as you exhale, lower down to your knees, bend the elbows to the waist, and lower for Ashtangasana. Knees, heart, chin. As you inhale, curl up for just a baby cobra, broad collarbones. And as you exhale, reach up and back for downward facing dog. Now in this downward dog, as we build some heat, we're building some energy, start to exhale from the mouth, find a couple sighs, find some releasing breaths. And then prepare for lunge with the right leg. From downward dog, reach that right heel all the way up and back, inhaling there. As you exhale, bend that knee, hug it into the chest, and step forward, coming into your high lunge. 2 full breaths in your lunge. Preparing for Uttanasana, inhale, little lift of the hips. As you exhale, step that left foot forward, fold in, relax the neck, relax the jaw. Inhale, rise up to halfway. And as you exhale, fold in. Coming all the way to standing as you inhale, sweeping out and up with the arms. Exhaling, palms together, Tadasana. We'll do this one last time with the breath. Inhaling to sweep out and up, lifting the heart. As you exhale, extend forward, coming into your Uttanasana. Inhale to rise up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, left foot comes back, coming into your high lunge. Take 1 inhale here, lift the chest. Use your exhale, step back for downward facing dog. Long spine. Inhale here in down dog. As you exhale, slowly shift forward, coming into a plank. Now hover here for 1 in-breath, lift the chest slightly. As you exhale, lower down to your knees, bend the elbows, lowering to the belly for Ashtangasana. Inhaling to curl up for Cobra. Exhaling, taking it back for downward facing dog. Give yourself 3 full breaths here. Find those sighs, find those releasing exhales. And preparing for lunge with the left leg. Next time you inhale, reach that heel all the way up and back. And as you exhale, bend the knee, hug it in, step forward, coming into your lunge. From lunge, 1 deep inhale, spread the collarbones. And as you exhale, step the right foot forward, fold in for Uttanasana. Inhaling to rise up to halfway. Exhale to fold in. Coming all the way up as you inhale, sweeping out and up with the arms. And as you exhale, palms come together, find your Tadasana. And as you center the energy here, once again, close the eyes, find the breath, and relax the arms by your side. You may even start to find some sways forward and back with the arms. Nice light fingers, light wrists. And when you feel ready, please take a wide stance. So if you are on a mat, you can turn to one side, the long edge of your mat. Bring the feet about 3 feet apart, parallel to each other. And then take a hold of your hips. Really feel the hip bones. And begin to roll the hips through your figure eights, drawing a figure 8 shape, leading with the pelvis. And just as we practiced with our pelvic tilts, see if you can begin to find a really large movement and incrementally find smaller movements. And eventually those figure eights will become so small that you may barely be moving. And when that happens, go ahead and change directions. Draw the opposite figure eight. Working to find those large movements, incrementally finding the more and more subtle movements in the hips. And as you do come back to a place that's pretty centered in the pelvis, see if you can keep that kind of fluid feeling, that spacious feeling in the hips. Standing up nice and tall with the torso, pivot the feet, right foot turning out 90 degrees, left foot turning in slightly, preparing for warrior two. Now as you inhale, spread out with the arms out to a wide T, palms facing down. And before you find your lunge, take a couple breaths here to soften the tops of the shoulders and visualize reaching through the muscles of the arms, not through the shoulder joints themselves. And you can take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, slowly find your lunge with your right thigh coming into your warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. And for right now, keep the gaze, keep the hips and the chest facing relatively to that side of your mat, to your left side. If it helps you in the pose, you can then turn your gaze to look right, gazing past your right middle finger. And then just to play a little bit, as you breathe here in Warrior Two, see how it feels to find those exhales, those sighs from the mouth. We'll take 2 more cycles of breath. If your gaze is turned, the next time that you inhale, bring your gaze back to center. As you exhale, slowly release the arms, straighten that front thigh. Hands to the hips, pivot both feet so they're parallel once again. Now the feet are still wide. From here, taking Prasarita Padottanasana, our wide forward bend. So as you inhale, lift up out of the hips, lift the torso. As you exhale, little bend to the knees as you extend forward. And see if you can first come to a place where you're about halfway up, parallel to the floor with the spine, the chin slightly tucked in. The hands can then slide down along the legs, maybe holding the calves, maybe holding the ankles, maybe holding the feet. And in time, you can let the spine begin to relax and soften into this shape. And Prasarita is wonderful for the neck. If you are in that full forward bend, really let go of the muscles of the neck as you keep the shoulders lifting up away from the ears. We'll take another full cycle of breath here. When you're ready, rise back up to halfway, little bend to the knees, hands to the hips. With your next in-breath from strong legs, rise all the way back up to vertical. And we'll prepare for Virabhadrasana 2 on the left side. Standing up tall, left foot turns out 90 degrees, right foot turns in. And start with that reach of the arms. As you inhale, spread the arms out to a T, palms facing down. Take a couple breaths here, getting as broad as you can from the heart to the shoulders, from the shoulders to the elbows, from the elbows to the wrists, from the wrists to the tips of the fingers. Keeping that spaciousness, inhale, and as you exhale, find your warrior two, lunging with the left thigh, knee centered right on top of that ankle. Again, finding a place where your neck feels best. Maybe it's centered, maybe your gaze is turning left. And give yourself 3 breaths here. Find some of those exhales from the mouth. If your gaze has turned, next time you inhale, bring the gaze back to center. As you exhale, release the arms, straighten that left thigh. Pivot both feet back to be parallel, staying with a wide stance. Now revisiting Prasarita, this time with the hands interlaced behind your back, adding a shoulder opener. So as you find that interlace, reach the knuckles down and back. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, take it forward slowly, finding your wide forward bend. Now, as you open into the chest, allow those upper arms to reach away from the upper body. Again, the neck is relaxed, the jaw is relaxed. And since you are in your own home, feel free to find those exhales from the mouth. This time, see if you can find some sound. Find some releasing sighs with this, but 3 more breaths. Ready? We'll come back to vertical the same way, rising up to halfway, hands to the hips. Keep a little bend of the knees, and as you inhale, rise up. As you find vertical, release the arms, relax the shoulders. And then coming back to Tadasana, either heel toe the feet or step the feet together. And coming to your tall mountain pose with the palms together, begin to focus your eyes on one very detailed point, finding your drishti. Preparing for Vrikshasana, for tree pose. Rooting down through your right foot. As you inhale, lift a little bit of weight, and as you exhale, you can shift the weight onto that right foot, left foot coming into your tree pose. Foot either to the ankle, to the calf, maybe to the inner thigh. And just as a tree would grow this pose from the ground up. Find your stability first in the feet. Feel that energy rise up through the standing leg, through the hips, through the spine. And eventually you can separate the hands, spread the arms all the way overhead, and feel that energy running up through the arms, through the fingertips. Another cycle of breath here. And as you complete your exhale, palms can come back together. You can slowly release that left foot down. Maintaining your drishti, maintain your focal point. Begin to root down underneath the left foot. Take a deep inhale here, standing up tall, and as you exhale, shift the weight. Bring your right foot into your tree pose, the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. And explore here what truly feels best to your body as you grow this pose from the ground up. If you'd like, add your branches. Reach the arms out skyward. Giving yourself another deep inhale here in tree. As you exhale, bring the palms together. Slowly lower that left foot down. And we'll transition back down to the floor. So from your Tadasana, next time you inhale, sweep out and up with the arms. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. As you exhale, extend forward, coming into your Uttanasana, a little bend of the knees. Take a couple breaths here. Let the arms relax down, let the head relax down. The next time you inhale, come into Ardha Uttanasana. Extend the spine halfway up. As you exhale, bring the hands to the mat or to the floor and step back into your downward facing dog. Last downward facing dog of the day. Give yourself 2 full breaths here. The next time you exhale, come down to hands and knees. You can bend the elbows, lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. Now preparing for Shalabhasana, for locust pose, you can relax the arms by your sides, palms facing the floor, both feet, tops of the feet, touching the floor. Now this is an important one that we don't overuse the neck. So as we prepare, bring your forehead or your nose to face the ground. And the next time you inhale, start to float the chest off the floor, slightly lifting up. Hold there. As you exhale, lift the upper arms, reach the hands up and back. Spread the chest open. Now you may stay here, or you can add a little lift to the legs, keeping the legs straight, pressing back with the balls of the feet. Taking a deep in breath here in your locust. As you exhale, slowly lower down. And we'll do this 4 times with the breath. So on your in-breath, slowly rise up for your locust, lifting the chest, the arms, lifting the legs. As you exhale, slowly lower down. 3 more times. Let the breath move your body. The inhale will lift. The exhale will slowly release. Last 2 at your own pace. Now once you've lowered down from that last locust pose, give yourself a rest. Head to one side or onto your hands. And take your time. When you feel ready, you can bring the hands back to the floor, press up and back to a child's pose. And make this child's pose your own. The knees may be together, they may be separated, the arms may be forward, they may be by your side, or they may be supporting your forehead. But wherever you are in your child's pose, take a few nice cleansing breaths, close the eyes. And then little by little, when you feel ready, you can press the floor away, make your way up to a seat, and eventually all the way down onto your back. And find a place where you can hug both knees in, coming into your supine child's pose. Now we'll keep both feet, both knees lifted, getting ready for one last spinal twist. Hug the thighs together, reach the arms out, that wide T, palms facing up towards the ceiling. And feel that same expanse you had in your Warrior Two. Broad chest, nice open arms, open fingers. Inhale there, and as you exhale, slowly bring both knees towards your right. And knowing that twists are something that happen over a series of time, it's not a place that we land. Give yourself a few breaths here to really explore the shape. Find a place where your neck feels best. Maybe it turns to look left. Another cycle of breath here. And from a strong belly, next time you inhale, bring the knees up through center. As you exhale, lower both knees towards your left. And same thing, take your time exploring the shape, exploring the breath. One more cycle of breath here in your twist. Next time you inhale, bring the knees back up through center. Now keep the knees and the feet lifted, hug them in, and slowly find your way to happy baby pose. So the knees will come wide, aiming towards the armpits, soles of the feet pressing up to the ceiling. And you can take your hands either under the thighs or around the feet. Find any rocking, any movement that feels best. Now from happy baby, you can slowly transition into a floating Baddha Konasana. So the feet, soles of the feet will touch. The knees will extend away from each other. And the hands can hold either the feet or maybe the shins. And on this one, see how it feels to really anchor the tailbone, anchor the pelvis. Start to soften into the inner thighs, deep in the hip sockets. And take another full cycle of breath here. And when you're ready, you can start to unwind. Bring the knees back together, hug them in, preparing for Shavasana. If there's any last shape your body's craving, feel free to take that now. Otherwise, please transition into your corpse pose. Now, as you do find a comfortable position here, allow your arms to rest by your sides, palms facing up. And as you soften the shoulders away from the ears, moving very slowly, start to turn the face from one side to the other. And incrementally, as you continue, make each turn smaller. So little by little, you're finding center for the head, center for the neck. And as you approach Shavasana, revisiting those cleansing breaths, exhaling from the mouth, just for 3 or 4 breaths. And as the eyes close, see if you can soften all the muscles around the eyes, allowing the eyes themselves to drop down a little deeper. Now, in time, you can release any control over the breathing. And just take note how your body's feeling at this point. How your breath might be moving differently through the body. And bring the awareness to the knuckles of your toes. The next time you exhale, think about releasing, softening that space of the joints of the toes. And bringing the awareness upward to your ankle joints as you exhale, releasing the space of the ankles. Feeling a releasing exhale to the space of the knees. Exhaling into the hip socket. On your next few breaths, exhaling the entire length of the spine, from the tail all the way up each vertebra to the very base of the neck. Feeling that release as you exhale into the shoulders. And into the joints of the elbows. Exhaling into the wrists. And exhaling to feel space into each knuckle of each finger. And exhaling into the joints of the jaw. Lastly, exhaling to find space in the very small joint at the crown of the head. And then little by little, you can begin to deepen your breathing, moving your fingers and toes, your wrists and ankles. Eventually bending your knees, rolling onto your right side. Staying in that fetal position until you're ready to come up to a seat. And keeping the eyes closed. When you do eventually find seated, bring the palms together, gentle bow of the head towards the heart. We can seal this practice in with the Om Shanti chant. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I'll see you on the mat. Namaste.